Father, 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 I see you. Mother, 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 I see you.
Okay, Max, tell you what, I'll give you a ban. I'll give you a screen ban, yeah?
No, thank you.
No, exactly. You're going to do your homework in a bit as well. Speak to myself. I've realised I've not given them hugs or kisses or all of that kind of really soppy stuff. And I feel like I'm a terrible parent at this point. I want to parent in a way that's reflective of your personality. So generally I'm very relaxed. I don't like to panic a lot about stuff. So I don't like to parent in a way that raises them full of panic. I also like them to question everything in a way. Don't always work on the assumption that I'm right. So it kind of depends on almost what type of person you are. I'm trying to get them to think for themselves, first and foremost. What I think is happening, and I can see this more with my 10-year-old than say my 8-year-old, is you can see him formulating his own opinions and thoughts, and let them develop, and also understand the fact that I'm not always right, that they're going to do stuff I don't like, but it's going to turn out they're right, and accept the fact that that's the case. Like, don't get too caught up in my own ideology. I was considered to be quite young when we had Tom. I was 26, so the whole thing was that as a young parent I felt a bit more kind of energy as much as anything else, whereas a lot of my friends around here, they might have had their first kid, they might be in their late 30s, which by that point, when you're dealing with the sort of very late night and the middle of the night wake ups and all that kind of stuff, they weren't able to handle it as well as I was okay doing that. Yeah, so I think your age does affect kind of, certainly the amount of energy you have more than anything else. You know, I'm a very different person now. Before then I was kind of, you know, you'd go out and do, you'd say, oh, what will we do tonight? We'll go out. We'll go do, and you can't do that anymore. So that's the kind of stuff that you have to really think about.
I just think it's very difficult to judge from the outside what parents are being like. So once you've been a parent, I think you don't get so judgmental about everybody else. And sometimes you see people thinking that's a bit strict and I do it differently. But there's reasons. You might have a different reason for doing things, and you know, might have told the same thing 10 times, and this is the 11th time, and that's when they're being strict. So it's difficult to judge from the outside. You just have to go with kind of instinct, I think. You try to lead by example, and if you show that violence solves problems, then it's not a good example, I think.
Mum's more up to date, whereas my dad kind of goes with an old-fashioned approach. My dad is very kind of strict. He doesn't like people being lazy, because he like runs his own business, and my brother works for him, and my brother gets quite a lot of stick from him, but my mum's pretty lax on that type of stuff, so it's a good balance, to be quite honest. I think overly protective parents are pretty bad. I'd hate my parents to be like, because he's checking up on social media and seeing what I'm doing if I'm out, just everything. I wouldn't like that. But to some extent, I think it's a good thing. I think parents need to know where you are. Like, if you go out and don't tell them, you should kind of tell them. Keep them up to date, because parents like to worry. So, I don't like overprotection, but there's some sense of protection that is needed.